Now, during political parties' campaigns, the focus has always been solely on mobilizing people to vote. But have you ever wondered how the general elections and campaigns affect stock markets and the economy? Well, in this interview with the HoD of Economics, Accounting and Finance at NUST, that is Eden Shipanga, we are tracing monetary investment made during the election period. Mr. Shipanga, good evening and thank you so much for being here.
Evening. Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah. Now, we do understand that the budget of political parties at this moment is being used for political campaigns, some of them including paying advertisement platforms on radio, television, as well as print media. However, apart from that, what link do election campaigns have on the economy?
Well, they create, apart from the payment of advert and whatsoever, they create an economic activities almost everywhere they go for campaign or for star rallies or whatever it is that they are hosting. Everywhere they go, it's money which is circulating within the economy. At every community or every towns they visit, they leave a certain amount of money within those communities. And they encourage, or that encourages the cities or the residents of those towns or regions to engage in economic activities, either in accommodation or filling stations, in terms of petrol, or even those who are selling their items, be it food item, be it other items. So all that as stimulating the economic activities.
Within the regions, as you indicated.
Within the regions,
Now, apart from the stimulation of economic activities within the regions, what about the stock market? When does it react to the campaigns?
Normally, the stock markets are hardly affected by these campaign issues.
Why is that the case?
In small countries like Namibia, which where the currency is pegged to South Africa, then the investors are more assured and in most cases are taken into confidence that for as long as there are no chaos or any infight or any havocs, then the economy tends to be stable and they are more confident about whatever the outcome might be. They would not care much about the outcome of the elections. Unless otherwise there is havoc, there is instabilities. That's when especially the foreign investors, they would try to pull out, and that would be the worst case that could happen to any economy. The moment they start pulling out, of course, then you see the stock markets and the taking the stage, because if they are to sell out whatever they have, they will try to sell it in the stock markets. And in so doing, of course, the market would be driven by the forces of supply and demand, and in so doing, of course, the issue of now effect or economic effect or impact can be felt. Otherwise, in the meantime, there is no cause for alarm, in my view.
Unless there's chaos. But let me give you a scenario where the outcome of the election is either an incumbent is retained or a new government is voted into power. There's still no effect to the stock market on that?
Well, the effect will step in once the incoming president has to now form up his cabinets. Now, that's where everyone begin to speculate. The investors are looking at the manifestos of this individual political party or the incoming political party's manifesto, and then they are weighing their opportunities and the futures. That's where they will now draw the direction of the future economic activities. And then if it's okay, if they feel that they have confidence that the incoming one would play to the book, they will not do much. But if they are uncertain about the direction of the incoming one, then automatically most of them, they will try to pull out of the economy look for safe areas or safety markets where they would put their money, and that would now the worst case that could happen in as an aftermath of the election.
Yeah. What about the individual being voted into power's character versus the political party that they are from? Is this also judged from an economic landscape?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Because investors just want to be taken into confidence.
Okay.
Now, if a certain incoming individual does not play according to the rules or to the books
of the party, yeah.
Yes. Or even respect the constitution,
okay.
so to say. Investors will be more uncertain and they will be fearful of the future, because if you don't follow you don't play according to the rules and to the books, then automatically people would think that you might come and then change, or you would even dismiss whatever policy. You are more likely to change all the policies which have been governing the economy. You are more likely to come and probably change the constitution. And if it's not in the favor or it's not in the right direction to create an environment which is so conducive to investors, then they are more likely to be uncertain of the future, and they are more likely to pull out.
Yeah.
And either come back once you have taken them into confidence that yes, your economy is stable, the peace and stability, all these other things are going to be okay, then that's the time they would probably come in.
Now, of course, perhaps where we could see a rerun being held, which is of course not common in democratic Namibia. This also becomes uncertain for investors, right? If a rerun is to occur.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, even if the rerun have to take place, at the end of the day, someone have to emerge victorious. Now, the judgment will be based on the character of that individual, as we earlier discussed.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that. So it's really just dependent on the character of the individual and whether the investors are confident in the individual being elected into power.
Precisely.
Based on various factors.
Precisely.
Thank you so much for clarifying that, sir. It was a pleasure to have you here.
The pleasure is all mine.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that was a communication that I just had with the HoD of Economics, Accounting and Finance at NUST, that is Mr. Eden Shipanga, and he was just giving us an understanding of how campaigns before elections and after elections affect the economy, particularly ours, as Namibia is set to go to the polls on the 27th of November to elect their presidential and National Assembly candidates.